Right, welcome to the bronze medal game for the Australian Underwater Hockey Nationals. This is the under-15s. It's Victoria versus South Australia. Camera is currently on the South Australians' end. They're playing with black sticks, dark caps. And that was just a strong look from Rayner there. The South Australians have 11 players, so one of them has to sit out. Sadly, that's going to be Piper Ellis. She's been a little ill, and I'm sure that she'd get in and give her all, but she's been a bit under the weather, so I think they've chosen to sit her for this game. All the other players sat out a game as well. And unfortunately, that's just the way they've gone for it. I've got, for the Victorians, I think I've got 11 names. Unfortunately, I don't know who's playing for them or who's sitting out, but I can give you the numbers and the players, and if you can do anything useful with that, more power to you. I can never see the numbers on the players. Number 10 for Victoria is Maddie Mundy. She's the captain. Number 9 is Will Stein, vice captain. 7 is Ethan Milnes. 1 is Felix Mundy. 3 is Flynn Dixon. 4, Felix O'Shaughnessy. 6 is Tamsin Walsh. 2 is Jasper Schoen. 5 is Cara Gibson. 13, Hayley Kinnyborough, and 8 is Seth Wormsley. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was 11. I've used all my fingers and I ran out, so that'd be 11. For the South Australians, we have 4, Lucas Solinsky. 3, Nina Harris. 99 is Harkin Quinn. 40 is Caden Davey. 26 is Peter Ningelglen. He's back from resting. He had a sore knee. We're seeing him in the back lines. 11 is Raino Gadlin. 12 is Eugene Kuczynski. 5 is Azalea Zeglick. 16 is Matthew Wallagora. 2 is Ula Wallagora. She'll be back in the front lines with Peter replacing her. 17 is Piper Ellis, and 6 is Jack Schmidt. One of our cameras will be mobile. That is slightly nausea-inducing. There it is. So, yeah, stock up on your quells. The team manager for the under-15s for South Australia will be working that camera. It does give the opportunity to get in a bit closer on the action if it comes up against that wall. The last time these teams met, it was a victory to South Australia. They came out 8-3, but I don't think it's a given that it goes that way this time. Victoria fell away a little bit at the end. It was 3-3 for the majority of that game, or for a large part of that game. We had a couple of players really step up, and it was the second game of the tournament, and they lifted for South Australia a great deal. They're all looking a little tired. I'd imagine the Victorians are as well. This is their 11th game this week. There's a list of injuries and infections and rashes, and they all seem to have tape somewhere. And the Victorian captain is good enough that she plays for the under-19s. So this is actually her second game of the day. I don't know how they do it. I need to lie down after a game. I don't want to hear that as an excuse. I'm desperately trying for that not to be an excuse. And we're away. The Victorians first to the park. South Australians have taken control and are moving over to the left wall. There's a good melee against the wall. And the Victorians have come away with it, being pursued by Matthew. We're going to stop there. I believe that's Peter, determined to show that his injured knee is not going to hold him back. Azale's strong with it. Pushed it back to Matthew, who's going to drive it right over to the right-hand side. No, he's not. He's turned into the middle. Was stopped by the Victorians. There's Lilka getting to the bottom from defence. No, it wasn't Lilka, it was Azale. And I think that was Eugene there that had it, and unfortunately no one backed him up. Curled and was left empty. I think we've got Nina on the left wall. Looking for some help, which came from Lilka. They're still trying to drive it up that wall. Victorians, looked like they were going to move it back into their 45. It's a dangerous spot for them. Back to the South Australians. Not many players on the bottom. As I said, they'll be getting a bit tired by now. Strong by Peter there, being pursued vigorously by Ula. She's very fast along the bottom. That was Jasper Schoen, who had the puck taken off him by Rayner. Back in the hands of the Victorians. You can see there's a lot of sticks and people in around the puck up against the wall. They've moved it out off the wall, and our cameraman seems to be breathing rather than doing her job. Here it comes back towards the wall. There's been a penalty called. It's South Australia's free. They're taking advantage of the time to do some changes. Both sides with 4 substitutions. Oh, and a strong goal from Victoria. Guesses? Number 3.
Flynn Dixon. Tall, skinny, blonde kid. Didn't look like Flynn, though.
Could it be Hayley? Was it a girl?
I don't know. It looked only someone small. It didn't look like Flynn, who's about 6 foot tall.
Right. We're not really sure. It's difficult when we don't have the numbers that they're getting at the score desk. Yeah. We believe it was either Hayley or Flynn or one of the other players. Okay, and we're back in play. Victorians bringing it to the wall. We've got Caden there, defending against the Victorians' advance. Strong push by one of the Victorians. And with good follow-up. That's what you want to see. And that's Maddie. And that's Matthew with it, taking it back to his defending player. Victorians back in possession, was curled, and well, that's how it looks when you're in there. And there's Azale just pushing up. It's she's got quite a bit of power behind her, and pursued strongly by Ula. Supported by Ula. And the Victorians desperately trying to keep it in their control. And whilst he ran it to the wall, that leaves them open. Hawkins got it. Hawkins got it. He's moved it back into the middle. But the Victorians have taken control. And we've got... No, we haven't got a penalty there. Everyone just slowed up for a moment. You can see there's only one or two players on the bottom. This really is a sign that they're tired. There should be 2 or 3 from each team on the bottom supporting each other. Someone's escaped from the pack. And a strong push, stopped nicely by the Victorians. It's an opportunity for South Australia if they can get some numbers on the bottom. Can be a bit of a war of attrition at this point. It'll get cycled into the corner and out of the corner as each team attempts to gain control until one of them manages to break free, which South Australia managed to do. Caden there playing left-handed. And Ula supporting the defence once again, racing up the side. Well, you can see the number there. That's obviously number 2, Ula. And we've got number 9, Victoria. That'll be Will. Being met by Maddie, who was determined, managed to get through 3 sticks there. That's good. That chiselling action from the front of the stick. You're allowed to use any part of the stick except the bit that sticks out the out from the outside of the fist. Back of your hand. Oh, yeah. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't use the pommel. We'll call it a pommel. You can't use the pommel. You can use any of the stick that's poking out the thumb end of your fist. Front, back, top, bottom, doesn't matter. It is. It's hard. It's buoyant, and I was using it earlier, and I'm looking at it, and I've got a little bit of shakes, and it was terrible.
And then as you're getting tired, you've got more tremor, and you've got more. Excuse me, here you've got long hair hanging off the bottom of your chin.
That'd be my daughter's. I don't
have the foot long hair.
No.
It's just a mum thing going.
Yeah. No, it's all right. The bloke I was talking to this morning had a long hair off the chin, and I don't believe that was his either. And his wife isn't here, and he hasn't got any kids, so I wasn't going to ask about that one.
No. Something off his jumper after it had been left sitting on the stands, maybe.
We'll imagine that. And they're away. It's Victoria's free. They're pushing into open ground. Well, it wasn't open. They managed to get through the defence. Valiant effort by Caden, not quite strong enough. But very well stopped there by Matthew. Our forwards have really supported the... It's hard up against the wall. There's been a fence called. You could actually see we had 2 of the defenders coming down to assist. And that must be Peter, who I've been calling Matt some of the time. That's Rayner. fighting his way up. That was good stop. And Ula coming in strong. Managing to keep her glove out of it. The referees will be watching that. And there was a stick obstruction by the Victorians, I believe. So it's South Australia's way. Your stick's only allowed to make contact with the puck, despite how tempting it may be to use it otherwise. Hawkon with the free. Oh, a rare fumble on a flick by Hawkon. He's got a very strong flick. This is Lilka working the wall hard and moving it out into the fray. That one is Matty, and he's off. They've slowed him, and he was supported well by Rayner. And then Ula with 3 forwards on the bottom, and she goes like the clappers. Oh, stopped by the Victorian. Well done. That would have been a very hard chase. Oh, that's so close. Once again, very strong defence. We believe that it's Jasper that's been doing all the work at the back lines.
He's everywhere. He's number 2.
Apparently. Oh, yeah, and he was everywhere. He was under the camera earlier. Once again, we're into the cycling along this in this corner. Comes down to which team can get the most players on the bottom and how well they can drive it to or away from the goals. There's been a call. No, there hasn't been a call. Someone's just gone for a substitution anyway. Yeah, between 7 and 8, I reckon, for that corner, but it's... And Victoria's broken away from it with it, and they're rocketing up the wall. That's 15 metres he's done, and he's still going. Stopped by the South Australian. Oh, that didn't quite go to plan. In the hands of Victoria. And then back in the hands of one of the South Australians. And now just entered that other camera. That's Azalea there. We've got a penalty. So the penalty. The opposing team needs to retreat behind the referees. Oh, and that was a very quick start. South Australia really should have had numbers on the bottom for that, and they didn't. And congratulations, Victoria. They've got their second goal. Victoria's called a timeout. I'm just trying to work out who's called, who got the goal. Right. Okay, we're using an assortment of communication techniques ranging from satellite communications all the way through to a couple of cans and some string. The games today for the finals are being officiated by volunteers. None of the that was number two. It was number two. It was Jasper. Well done, Jasper.
Hey?
1 second,
3 or number 6, I reckon.
and we're away. Okay, so we got told it was either Flynn, Jasper,
Or Felix.
6, you said? Tamsin is 6.
I don't know.
4 is Felix. Once again, it was somebody for Victoria. And a very strong push from the South Australians. Good numbers on the bottom. And a strong drive. Brings it to 2-1. They'll be relieved to get one away. And that was number 7. Number 7 for South Australia. No, that's not South Australia. Number 7 for South Australia is...
There's no 7. 17?
And she's not playing, so it can't be her. No, my informant is not as reliable as I'd hoped. Okay. They're away, that's all. They're pushing up. With Rayner being followed once again by Ula. She's been up for a quick breath and straight back down. That's what we want to see. Good work. And there's Nina. Strong. Oh. Didn't matter. There's been an offence called. Nina's gone for a sub. It's South Australia's way. Oh, there's been a timeout called. Oh, there hasn't been a timeout called. That's the end of the half. So, 2-1 Victoria's way. South Australia with one just in the last couple of minutes of the half. And despite our best attempts, we are unable to inform you who the goal scorers were. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah, you said 7. We don't have a number 7. Yeah. And the other one was we were given 4 different names for that. So.
And my daughter's sitting on the end in the middle of the Victorians.
So yeah, I'll try and watch as the. The finals games are timed more rigorously than the lead-up games. The clock stops for offences and for timeouts. As I was saying earlier, all of the in-water referees, there's 3 of them for the finals, and the out-of-water referee and the 3 scorers are all volunteers for each of the finals games. It's been a lot of good work done by the volunteers. It's been a wonderfully run competition. Still got a minute before we start.
So yeah, when you know who scores, can you just send me a text, please? Because we don't. I don't know who scores. No, next time when someone scores for Victoria. I won't know who scores. Have a try. I'm on the other side of the pool. When someone's mum says, "That was my little darling," can you send me? Did you hear anyone say that was my little darling?
Well, yeah.
Simple communication.
It's hard to get good help. 2, 1, go. Well, they've only got 15 minutes left to play. The South Australian kids have done better than we expected. They're very happy with the way they played. It's actually the coach's birthday today. He really would like that bronze medal as a present. It's been driven up the wall by one of the South Australian players. Stolen by the Victorian and immediately returned into the South Australian end. Bit of toing and froing. South Australia back with it. A nice long drive here. They must be running out of air. They were, but it's being pushed forwards. Oh, that's why no one was trying to stop them. There'd been a call made. It's quite difficult to know when there's been a call made. There's a game running along in the pool that's alongside, and there's a lot of noise going on. I worked the camera for the previous game, and I'd never actually noticed how much noise there was underwater. The clacking of the sticks and the sirens, and you can actually hear them shouting. That's fantastic run by Rayner. Just run out of steam at the end. He should have had support there. There's Azalea. Oh. Well done, Rayner. Only stopped by someone causing an offence. That puts South Australia in a good spot. And it's into the fray. Victoria trying to escape with it. Being chased by Eugene. And stopped by Lil. That's Ula just staring them down. It's a run out of air. Well done, Ula. Up. Nina punching through. And followed by Eugene. More on the bottom. This is what we want to see. At least two on the bottom. And Ula again, trapping him against the wall. Onto Rayner, who's worked it off and into the 45, but was stopped, and I'll bet that was Jasper. He's been a bit of thorn on their side. Hawk on.
Jasper's got the surfy hair that sticks out the back of his hat.
Ah. It looks like a mullet, but that's only because he's got the cap on.
No, it's not a mullet. Trust me, it's not a mullet.
And they've got a strong break. And they took advantage. Well done, Victoria. It was a very long drive. It's very hard to get back and chase those. Well, I can see. Yeah. These numbers aren't right, because I got a 6. And 6 doesn't seem to be wearing a top.
Right. Victoria number 8. Number 8 for Victoria. Number 8 was next to the goals.
All right, number 8 is Seth. We believe it was Seth. He's from north of the border.
Yeah, north of the border, exactly.
Back in the hands of the South Australians. They're driving up the pool. Oh, we've lost concentration from our camera person. Victoria's taken control of it, driving it out.
And the other thing is too, everyone walks through there and they touch those noodles.
Oh, and
The camera has a little conniption.
right. Yeah.
I had chairs over top of them the other day, and then all the spectators
Just to take the chairs. Yeah, that's where all those chairs came from.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you exactly where all the chairs came from. And someone's kicked the camera.
And the camera's been. Sorry, all the camera that covers the Victorians' goal has been nudged. You can't see much on that. South Australia fighting hard to try and drive it in. It's back into that corner. A lot of players on the surface. We've got quite some trouble here. The cabling for these cameras is gaffer taped across the floor, and there's pool noodles involved. And quite a lot of foot traffic around as excited people to and fro from the rooms trying to discuss results and work out ruling calls. Another push by the South Australians, stopped again by the Victorians. Hawk-on down in that corner. Eugene with Maddie pushing it through. It was all or a little fighting very hard on the tray. South Australia needs more. There it is. Come on, Kate. And good defence again. Someone on that Victorian backline's been doing a great deal of work. Driven back to the corner, into the corner that we can see. That's Caden now taking it out. And driven back by the Victorians. It's Rainer, it's now coming up there, up the wall. To Hawkon's hands. And then back through to Rainer. Caden again with it. Caden's done a lot of work on this run. Hawkon fighting along the wall, comes out victorious. And back into Lil's hands. I think she's just come on after a sub. Look at her go. She's looking fresh and dangerous, but not quite dangerous enough. Into Rainer's hands. He plucked that nicely off the wall. That's good stick work, Rainer. Number 9 for Victoria, got it. Looks like they've been stopped, but they've come away with it again. Peter just in front of us, backing up the play. Rainer on the puck again. Come on, you like, you get a goal, you can have a rest. Caden still working in from as the on half. Out into Matt's hands. He's driving at the tray. Oh, and it's loose in front of the tray. Still no goal. My goodness, well done, Victoria. That's got to be 5 times it's been right on the tray. Again, another drive from the South Australians. And in, finally. Brings it to 3-2 with 6 minutes to go. Certainly going Victoria's way, but there's still a chance. The under-19s game this morning went to overtime. If it comes out a tie, it goes to overtime, 5 minutes each way. And what happens if there's no result then, I don't know. I haven't seen it happen. And they're off. Oh, they're striking. We've got a, whoop, we're between cameras. Nina with it. Nice. Just a flick over the opposition stick and a push forward. Back to Orla. Orla with a strong drive up the wall. And stopped well by, I believe that's Maddie. As I said earlier, that's Will was backing Maddie up. As I said earlier, Maddie's second game of the day. She's a unit. Right, we've got a free for South Australia. Be taken by Nina, I think. I reckon she's the left half at the moment. Yes, there's a timeout. Yes, she was the left half. I don't know whose timeout it is. Some frantic encouragement by the South Australian coach. With the diminishing resources that his vocal cords have left. We got 10 seconds. It's still in Nina's hands. So the Victorians are allowed to move when she touches the puck, and she's on it, and she's going to bring it across and in towards the tray. It's in Rayner's. No, they were.
Someone's kicked our camera so we can't see the tray up close. Oh no, they're down the back.
In the back corner. Kicked out, but good defence from Lil. Well done, Lil. And they're fighting it towards the tray again. It's just a melee in the corner, and it's broken away by the South Australians. Stopped by Victoria. Very frantic play. Oop, dead puck. It's a free for Victoria. South Australia take advantage to have a couple of subs. Eugene subbed off. And I think it was Azalea's gone in his place. Okay, plays away. Hawkon being backed up by Lil. And then Nina as the off half. She did well, fought for it, and Azalea has come on. And good work, Azalea. Kept the puck under her control until she had a player to pass to. And there's Rayner, and he's off. Was taken off him at the 5 metre line by the Victorian player. Just gradually being worked down the right-hand side by the South Australian team. Oh, and we've lost the camera. There's been an offence. Caused by the South Australians. I didn't see what it was. South Australians are desperately trying to get a quick sub on. And we're away. We've got 2 minutes to go. Things are looking pretty grim for the South Australians at this point. Victorians will be just doing their damnedest to hold on to the lead they've got. Being worked up the wall by the Victorians. There's Azalea coming over the top of us for a quick sub. Oh, well done. Into the hands of Ula, and Ula's going like the clappers. Stopped well. She's still got some air left. Now Peter's got it. Let's test that knee, Peter. Come on, go. Stopped by the Victorian, but backed up again by Ula. She, I believe it was Ethan was the Victorian who took it off Peter. Now it's a fight with Nina. Nina nicely curled it in, but couldn't quite keep control of it. Hawkon strong at the back. You can see that battle of sticks there. And another one coming in from the top. It was a good shot by the camera person. In the hands of a South Australian, I can tell only by the colour of the stick. That was Rayner, and then back, and that's Peter fighting with it now. He's brought it across, but there's no one there. Yes, there is. It's Rayner again, being backed up by Lilka. She's racing up the line. Well, a little bit of a drop. Oh, nice skills, Rayner. He's really developed as a player over this period, as all of them have, but I wasn't seeing anything like that on Friday nights a month ago. We've only got 13 seconds on the clock. It's been up to 15. No, they're waiting for the ref. Well, that's a very sad way for it to end for the South Australians. Bad luck, team. Good fighting all the way through. Congratulations, Victoria. It was a well-earned win. Let's do this again in a year.